Namaskar. This show is exclusively for Punjab and Maharashtra bank deposit holders and people who support those deposit holders. I don't intend to get 20 people in my studio, nor do I intend to go and blame political party and completely make this into a political issue. What my intention today is to clearly identify why is that the depositors are not getting their money back and why is it that Punjab and Maharashtra bank is not operational. What is stopping the government? What is stopping the law and order system? What is stopping the RBI to ensure that the depositors gets money and the bank is operational? And that's what we are going to identify, and that is what we are going to put in front of you. There has been a lot of ping pong happening from one party to another party, from BJP to Mahavikas Aghadi and Mahavikas Aghadi to BJP. This has been happening. We will deep dive and tell you exactly where your money is stuck, exactly who is that department that can sign off and get your money to your doorstep, to you. And that's what our intention is. That is what we are going to do, and that is our mission with this program. Before I get into this case, for people who are not PMC depositors, let me just tell you, 23rd of September 2019, the Reserve Bank of India had put restrictions on PMC Bank, and the depositors were not allowed to withdraw money from PMC Bank. Now, why did this happen? This happened because a team of people, which was led by a gentleman called Joy Thomas and his entire team, they conned the RBI auditors. They conned them, and RBI auditors got conned. Okay, so for the fault of RBI auditors, who couldn't find out that this bank was doing all sort of fraudulent manipulations in their accounting, because they couldn't identify that, the poor depositors were made to suffer. Let us get that very, very clearly. Absolute lack of efficiency of RBI made this calamity, put this calamity on the poor depositors. And even today, they are suffering. Now, like I said, a lot of talks. Some blame Mahavikas Aghadi, some blame Bharatiya Janata Party, some blame the police, some blame the RBI. There were a lot of blame game going on. Finally, nobody was pointing out at what exactly is the problem. My program, with this program, possibly this may not end in this particular episode. This may be a couple of episodes from today. This program, I'm going to identify who is the actual culprit, and I'm going to follow up with that actual culprit for the next 100 days if need be. Every day I'm going to call up, every day I'm going to brief you on what happened with that. And that's exactly what I'm going to do with this particular program. Now, the first thing that we went to is the economic offense wing of the Mumbai police. I wanted to find out, the logic is very simple. A bank has been fraudulent, there was a bank fraud, and the people who defrauded the bank, if they go collect their assets, and if the assets is given to the bank can liquidate the asset and give it to the depositors. As simple as that. So I wanted to identify as to, has Mumbai police done anything about it? I wanted to identify, has Mumbai police actually got the assets of these people, recovered the assets of these people and given it to the bank? And this is the answer that I got from Mumbai police. Hear it out. This is the Joint Commissioner of Police, Economic Offence Wing, the topmost officer in the department. He spoke to us and this is what he had to say. Kindly hear this.
We started our investigation, and during the course of investigation, we have registered till now 14 people, which includes the major directors of the PMC Bank, the CEO or day-to-day in charge of the PMC Bank, and also the major perpetrators, that are the Rakesh and Sarang Badwan, apart from other people. Till date, we have recovered 4,500 crore worth of property only of HDIL group, and if we cumulatively take the figures of the entire recoveries which has been made by EOW as on today, it surpasses or equals the entire amount of fraud. During this course of investigation, we have also recovered 14 high-end vehicles, 2 aircrafts, and 1 luxury yacht, and we have submitted all the documents and all the papers to the PMC Bank for further necessary action. I will request you to please understand the nuances of law and how it works. Economic Offences Wing Mumbai is a prosecuting agency. We prosecute the people who are the perpetrators of the fraud, and also at the same time our primary task is also to locate the cheated money, and wherever they are we have to identify them, locate them, and bring it before the notice of the honorable court. The entire process of restarting the bank rests with the current management of the PMC Bank and also with RBI, which is in charge and supervising day to day how the bank is going to start. To be very frank with everybody, Economic Offences Wing being an investigating agency, we don't interfere or we have no say in how the bank functions, how it is going to restart. But I can assure everybody that whatever assistance is required from the Economic Offences Wing side, we are ready to give them. As on today, we have already deposited the documents of all the properties which have been recovered by us to the PMC Bank, and nothing stops the bank today from moving ahead with the SARFAESI and to start the process of auctioning, liquidation, and to recover the lost money and to restart the bank. The cases go on, and the cases go on primarily to punish the accused and to also ensure that the proper justice is done. But this aspect never in any way impedes the financial progress of the country or the financial process of the country. Running a bank in a day to day matter, as you are aware, is a financial process. You all are aware that day to day in the entire world, financial frauds in the banking sector happens, but that is not a reason why a bank should stop functioning. As per the latest report revealed by the RBI, the total amount of financial frauds in banks in the previous year was more than 1.5 lakh crores, but that has not stopped any bank from doing its day to day functioning. So, linking the functioning of PMC Bank with the financial fraud which has happened there, I think is a conclusion from which we should move ahead, and we should focus now on restart of the bank, which primarily rests with the administrators who are appointed by the Reserve Bank of India and also the Reserve Bank of India itself. Comment on that, but to fully empathize with the plight of the depositors, because they are the people who are the worst sufferers. They are the worst sufferers for no fault of their own. But if you are trying to find an answer with the police agency for this, I can only say my job is to identify the culprits, prosecute them, and bring them before the law. The how to run day-to-day transactions of a financial sector is something, especially in the banking sector, it is something which the Reserve Bank of India should take a call on.
According to the Joint Commissioner of Police, EOW, Economic Offence Wing, Mumbai Police, he says that they have collected more equal or more assets for liquidation than what is owed to our depositors. Equal or more amount of assets has been collected, which is what is owed to our depositors. This is what the EOW head has to say. Now, let me tell you, according to him, he has collected more than 4,500 crores from HDIL itself. And when the government tells you that they have collected more than 4,500 crores or 5,000 crores, the actual value, they talk book value, the actual value could be at least 7 to 8 to 9,000 crores. So, yes, he is right. He has collected more value, he has recovered more value than what is owed to the depositors. Then my question is, where does this money, why is it not given to the depositors? Where is this money getting stuck? Why is the RBI sitting on these assets? Why can't the RBI liquidate these assets, or why can't this RBI take the assets as collateral and give the bank the money so that the poor depositors can get the money? Very clearly, entire solution lies at RBI's doorstep. Now the question is, why is RBI not acting? RBI was absolutely over enthusiastic when they acted for Yes Bank depositors. They were absolutely over enthusiastic. They got SBI to deposit money in Yes Bank, so on and so forth, and matter was solved in days. Why are they giving PMC a stepmotherly treatment? We went to Mahavikas Aghadi. Mahavikas Aghadi has no role to play in it. Has no role to play in it, and whatever commitment whoever gave you from Mahavikas Aghadi, let me tell you, depositors, it has got no role because they have no right. They have no right over RBI, and if they say RBI is not going to listen, and possibly the chances are that on the other side, Bharatiya Janata Party, they don't want to say it to RBI for the simple reason that if RBI actually doles out, this is what I think, if RBI actually doles out the money, if the depositors get the money, depositors will be happy and the entire credit of that may go to the Mahavikas Aghadi. Now in this particular ping pong, in this particular political war, the people who are suffering are the PMC depositors. This is absolutely RBI's inefficiency. First, their inefficiency because they don't know how to audit the banks. The second, their inefficiency because now when the police has collected the money, they are doing nothing about it. Before I get more, we tried and spoke to the Bharatiya Janata Party, the person who deals with banks and finance in Bharatiya Janata Party in Maharashtra, Mr. Kirit Somaya. My colleague spoke to him. This is what he had to say. Kindly hear this.
सर बीजेपी पीएमसी केस जो है उसको परस्यू करने के लिए क्या एक्शन ले रही है, क्योंकि अभी 1 साल होने को आया है सर, अभी तक पीएमसी बैंक के डिपॉजिटर्स को कोई भी रेस्पाइट नहीं मिला है.
Regarding PMC Bank, we are pursuing with RBI due to formation of new state government in Maharashtra. The process was delayed due to EOW Mumbai and lockdown, because before lockdown, 2 orders were issued. One, the disposal of helicopter and special assets of around 100 crores were started. The party went to Supreme Court and it was held up. That is one thing. And secondly, hello.
हेलो.
Huh.
Yes sir, I'm listening.
So that's why it was held up and the temporary stay was given. And second one, here in Mumbai High Court, he was released on bail, Wadwan, to be kept in his house arrest. So for both, one ED went to Supreme Court, other issue RBI went to Supreme Court. In both the cases, just few weeks back, they brought clarity order. Supreme Court has corrected. And that's why the 100 crores asset disposal process restarted just few days back. So it was a symbolic. After that, that land valuation, everything was held up for 6 months.
This is what I was talking about. Ping pong ball. Nobody wants to say anything. Everybody knows what the actual situation is. Nobody wants to say anything. Believe me, you talking to Mahavikas Aghadi is worth nothing, because what Mahavikas Aghadi could do, they have done. That the economic offence wing has done their job. Speaking to Mahavikas Aghadi only will harm the case rather than help the case. It has to be done by the Bharatiya Janata Party, the central government and the RBI. And RBI is an autonomous body. They should remember this and act autonomous for a change. And that's precisely what we are going to ask RBI to do. Now, I have asked my colleague Akhilesh Bhargav to join in because I want him to technically tell me what can I do to ensure that I get my money. Akhilesh, the police says they have recovered enough and more assets from the defrauders to ensure that the depositors are paid. They said they can't pay the depositors. That is not part of their duty. They have collected the papers and handed it over to the bank. Now the bank, in concurrence with the RBI, has to go and give this to a depositor or operate however they want to do it. This is what the police says. So as far as police is concerned, that chapter is closed. We spoke to Bharatiya Janata Party representative. We spoke to Kirit Somaya. Kirit Somaya says that, listen, because there was a government change, because there was lockdown, because there was COVID, and the fact that there were some issues regarding aeroplane and all of that, things got delayed. Akhilesh, things didn't get delayed when it was Yes Bank. Things are getting delayed when it is Punjab and Maharashtra Bank.
PMC Bank.
PMC Bank. Akhilesh, what exactly is the problem here?
Sujit, the PMC Bank case has been the case of a stepchild and unwanted child being dealt with by the authorities and the regulators. I'll start with telling you, for example, DHFL is about a 1 lakh crore case scam. Okay? DHFL and PMC and HDIL, they all have a common fraudulent promoter, which is the Vadwan family. I used to be so shocked when I used to read in the newspapers that the banks were willing to and very eager to somehow rescue and bail out DHFL, which is a 1 lakh crore fraud. But PMC Bank was a stepchild. Nobody wanted to talk about it, even though, as per the cops, the figures are that it was a 5 to 6,000 crore fraud committed by the Vadwans. So the entire intention is seen here. You have a far bigger fraud in DHFL, far bigger amounts involved. I can understand the government is bankrupt, but a bankrupt government, bankrupt banks were eager to bail out a DHFL, but not a PMC. That itself shows the intent right from the beginning. This has been a child nobody wanted. It has
Correct.
been an orphan child by the authorities.
Correct. Correct. Achilles, the problem here is BJP will not allow RBI to take a positive step towards getting this bank operational, purely because if they take positive steps now and if the bank is operational and the depositors get paid, possibly the mileage of that would go to the Maha Vikas Aghadi government. The Maha Vikas Aghadi government here is helpless, because if they will want to give their sound bites, but at the end of the day, whatever they do, it will not help, because RBI is not going to listen to Maha Vikas Aghadi. This is where it stands politically. Now the problem is, Akhilesh, what do we do? What do we do as depositors?
See, Sujit, this is a case where the regulator is not doing what it is expected to do and what it is empowered to do. Okay?
Correct.
Till about the end of May, the Reserve Bank of India used to complain about cooperative banks in India that there is a dual regulation. It doesn't have complete powers to regulate, control, and supervise a cooperative bank in India. But from June, the regulations have changed. Reserve Bank is the whole sole regulator of cooperative banks in India. What the PMC Bank should do and can do is, their earlier petitions were under the regulations as they were at that point of time when they were dual regulation, and you could fall between the two stools. Now there's only one stool, which is Reserve Bank of India. They'll have to take up fresh petitions, go to the respective courts and say it is Reserve Bank which is the regulator. It is Reserve Bank now which has to take the action and take necessary action to revive the bank and bail us out. Why is it not doing it? So now, because the regulations have changed, I think fresh petitions can be put up to courts again under the new regulations, seeking Reserve Bank to discharge its duty which it is expected to.
Thank you so much, Achilles. Thank you so much for that information. Our intention is not political. Our intention is not to create any TRPs. Our intention is not to sensationalize this issue. Our intention is very clean and clear. People who have deposited in that bank should get their money. They have lost their money for no fault of theirs. They have lost their money because of this organization called PMC and this audit body called RBI. They should get their money, and that's our mission, and that's what we are going to work for. Till then, namaskar.